These trainers, Ken.
Sorry?
These trainers.
The new?
My brothers, right? Covered in shit. So I said to him, can I have them? He was like, yeah, 15 quid. I was like, well, no then. Because now you want to have 15 quid. And he went, yeah, and you want a pair of trainers. So
buy a pair of trainers for 15 quid.
So I bought these, 15 quid. Washed them up.
You bought them then from your brother?
Yeah. Right?
It's not a good story. He won.
Yeah.
No, I washed them up.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to keep them. But I was like, no way, motherfucker.
So you wanted to...
I think I won.
So the story is you paid 15 quid for a pair of dirty trainers and cleaned them?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode number 50 of the last 7. Yay! 50, yeah.
Are you going to put a sound effect applause into that?
Probably should.
Yeah, why
Probably
not?
should, but just in case. Yeah! Amazing.
It's a grand 50.
We're a Newport-based podcast, a
No,
not
you
so
said Newports.
philosophical.
You said Newports.
We're a Newport-based podcast, a not so philosophical wax regarding the last 7 days. I'm your host Dan Rowley. Joining me today, Ken Trainer,
Yeah, the first one had more energy, mate. It's a shame you fucked it up.
Justin Cliff,
Yes.
and Antonio Ramola.
Hello.
You alright, guys? How's it going? Well?
Yeah, thanks for stamping out that fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. I'll fuck around with my intro then.
I'm good, mate.
Excellent. You don't look great.
Don't I?
We'll check a photograph up because I've got one already, but I'm gonna take another one because now it's looking proper. What's
Right.
tell us what happened in the 4 hours before you got here today.
I was walking past a Blue Banana. I was going there because earlier in that day on the train I thought, why not get my ear pierced today? And it turned out to be a really bad idea.
You hate it.
Yeah, I hate it. And it hurts a lot.
He's had a bit of scaffolding put in his ear. The two piercings at the top. So really had 2 for the price of 1.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did get 2 doses of pain and blood for the
Yeah,
price of 1.
it is bleeding a lot.
Yeah, it is bleeding more than I thought it was going to bleed.
Well,
So
it's
I've
2
made
wounds,
a kind
isn't
of what would you call this? What would this costume piece be?
A little blood sponge.
Well, yeah, it's kind of tissue paper or
Yeah, it's a
stuff.
draped
It's like
over the
shoulder
shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like a rough.
Yeah,
It's
like
like
a
half
yeah.
a rough
Half a
of
rough.
toilet paper for blood
A
capture.
drip rough.
Drip rough.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tucked into the collar of your t-shirt like a bib.
Like a rough.
Yeah, like a rough, mate. Not a bib. Bib is
A
not
rough
cool.
would probably
Rough.
a rough would probably be more effective, actually.
Yeah, a rough would be really great.
Oh yeah, it's
It really
exactly.
catch-
It.
that
Funnel
blood,
it all
yeah.
into my neck. Only no one knows what I'm talking about because it's really difficult to visualise.
Oh no, people don't know what a rough is.
No, I know what a rough is, but we're talking about something that, yeah, blood pissing from the top of my ear.
There'll be a photograph.
So-
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, you want. Stick with it. It'll be fine.
No, I'm taking it out. I'm taking it out before I go to sleep tonight.
Oh god, it's gonna kill.
Yeah, dude. I
Hello,
know.
it's gonna be covered in
I
blood.
don't know as well. This is the thing. I don't know which end is the unscrewable ball and which end is the.
They both unscrew.
Oh, amazing.
Why
So that's it for
tonight?
you and your piercing. Then that's it. That's
Try
your
anything
ends.
once. Try anything once.
You tried it twice. That was the problem. I think it'll look cool.
And
Just leave it quickly. SpongeBob SquarePants episode that we watched
Yeah.
with the young ones in it.
Yeah.
Quite right. All the young ones except Aid Edmondson.
Right. Why is that?
It was Mike, the voice of Lead Monkey.
No way.
Serious? Yeah. That's why we couldn't place it. Nobody thought of it.
No one thought Mike
Mm.
would be back. He was good as Dave Edgehoff there, mate.
Yes. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Different actor. So.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So Lenny Henry who plays Dave
Oh,
Hedgehog. isn't it?
shut the fuck up.
Sir Lenny, if anything, anyway.
Queen's birthday honours list published last week.
Yeah.
You know the honours, Tone? If it's like Sir,
Yeah, yeah.
whoever, you know that because they've been knighted.
Yeah.
There's been a few people who have refused the
Yeah.
The
Yeah. I
honour.
saw that.
the JB Priestley.
Oh really?
Yeah, Ken's mate. Actually, a lot of Ken's mates. Francis Bacon, Roald Dahl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Said no to a CBE.
How do they decide this?
That's the thing.
Who decides?
It's got to be the royal household, but we're not quite sure who.
They just
Sure we
sit
can
around.
find out.
They just sit around and choose their favourite celebs.
Yeah, but sometimes it is celebrities and sports folk. But the girl that we spoke about who raised all that money for the disabled chap who was mugged outside his home,
Yeah.
she was given an order of merit, I think.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so that it's for charity work as well. Lenny Henry, for instance, is mostly for comic relief,
Yeah.
not fucking services to comedy. So it's got to be the charity work.
Yeah.
My birthday tomorrow. Tone's birthday on Sunday.
That's right, mate. That's right. We were going to record this tomorrow, weren't we? But then there was a few fuck-ups, and so we're doing it the day before your actual birthday.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm fine.
Even though I've been insisting it is your birthday all day.
You have, yeah, you did. You have tried to tell people both on social media and our close friends that it was my birthday today.
Yeah.
But I thought it was only our closest friends who had fallen for the prank. So Antonio and George texted me today saying happy birthday.
Yeah, well, no, actually, I got a text off Justin saying, "Can you do me a favour and text down happy birthday, please?" And I text back saying, "Why? It's not his birthday. It's tomorrow."
Oh, well, thanks, mate.
Just do it. Me and George are pissing him off.
No, it wasn't worth that.
So like me and George are trying to
I think I
piss him
believe
off.
him. Yeah.
So then I text Dan then saying, "A very, very happy birthday to you, mate," or something like that. Text me back saying, "Fucking Justin."
Yeah. I was speaking to a load of wonderfully brilliant nurses today as well, and we're going to get to that subject because we've got a pseudoscience of the week coming up.
Yeah.
Nurses.
For number 50.
Nurses.
Yeah, they were nurses. Yeah.
No, but is that the subject we're going to talk about?
No. There's it's not too much pseudoscience involved in nursing. Thank goodness.
I like nurses.
Yeah.
I know some hot nurses.
And yeah, they've always got some sort of quirk as well.
Yeah, but
Every single nurse I've met.
I like the hot nurses.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. I just wanted to say that really. That's why I
Ah.
I used to have my balls checked all the time when I had leukemia
Yeah.
checkups.
Right.
But they were never ever hot. The nurses that did. I was old. I was gutted.
How old
No,
are you?
there was one hot
They
one,
used to
though.
fill me right up. There was only one hot one. It was like one of the last ones I went to as well, which made it worse
Was
because
it
I was like
German?
15 or 16, so it was like in my prime of like
In your
Just
prime.
always.
Bonus.
No, it's in my prime of not being able to control erections, basically.
Ah.
In like that pure time where you can't control
You
erections,
really
it's
just
just
can't.
right.
You can't get it down if it wants to go up. And she was quite hot, yeah, and I was really nervous as fuck.
Wasn't she German?
She was feeling up my legs and all first, and she was saying, no, Russian.
Is that how you do it?
Russian?
Yeah, feeling up my legs and all, and she was going, yes, you are very muscly, so you must work out and all this, right? And in my head,
Sorry,
I was,
Hold on.
What was she checking? What was she doing?
Yeah, she was checking
no,
for
she
leukemia.
check for
in
like
the thighs.
lumps and like any bruises and stuff,
Ah,
like that might,
okay.
My mum was in the room as well though, so it wasn't like she was
Oh.
trying to try.
Fucking
It wasn't
hell.
like she was abusing me behind the curtains,
Oh right.
Well, I was behind the curtains, but my mum was just on the other side.
That's sex,
But she was saying out loud, so my mum knew exactly what was going on anyway. So she was feeling my legs and all before getting to my groin area. It was like really freaking winding me up. It was around.
Rousing.
Winding me up.
Winding me up.
I didn't
for a good
like
old
it.
pumping.
I felt really nervous.
Get
and,
back home. Hiya, son. How
and I
was the
remember-
checkup? She's a dick tease, Dad. Big time.
I remember having a bit of a grin on my face when she started, when she said, "Can you pull down your pants for me, please?" And I was like, really, I just had a little chuckle inside, a little grin, had to look away, pulled them down. Oh god, it's just like really embarrassed, but really thinking, please, don't get one. I was really thinking, like when they used to say, "Oh, you've just got to think of something really horrible."
Yeah,
you don't want
yeah.
to get an erection. Well, I don't know why, but all I was trying to think of was really floppy sausages, like uncooked. Really floppy. Just being. I remember the image in my head.
Well, just
Loads
look
of
at your mum.
sausages being flopped
Oh, yeah.
around, just like being like flopped around, just like on the strip, like when they're attached together.
Yeah.
Just that. Don't just floppy sausages, floppy
Floppy
sausages, floppy
sausages.
sausages. Let it flop,
So,
let it flop,
I,
let it
I,
flop.
I'm sure I speak to everyone listening to this, right? Because we're all on the edge of our seats, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did it happen, mate? Did you get an erection?
No.
Oh.
Ah.
No, but I think I started to once the trousers went back up.
Yeah.
And and I sat back down for the rest of the because then I was relaxed and I knew it was over. I didn't have to worry about it.
That's great. So your mum was like behind the curtain. The nurse finishes your checkup, and you just walk out then with a raging hard on to face your mum. The nurse just puts a little well done sticker on the end of it, and away you go.
Yeah.
So is he okay? Sorry, what? Did you check for any? Yeah. No, he's
yeah.
fine. You'll have to come back next
What was he
Thursday.
supposed to not have again? Leukemia. Oh yeah, no, none of that.
None of that. Totally none. You should come back for another checkup, a real one. Any of that happen, or in the ballpark at all?
No.
Shit.
No, I was never close to actually pulling any of these nurses.
Yeah. It's almost like they were there professionally, which is annoying. Oh, we're all into Saved by the Bell, right?
When I wake up in the morning and my alarm sets out a warning. Yeah, I love it.
Well, I personally never think I'm going to make it on time.
No.
By the time I collect my books and then get myself a look, usually I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by.
Yeah, but it's all right. It's all right.
Well read there. No, it was a huge part of my childhood, man. Do you not watch?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I watched it a
lot.
Right, let's go through because there were so many sort of crap ones. I think we talked about a few of them before, but let me just throw out a couple, see if you remember them, see what your favourite bits are. Do you remember Hang Time?
Yeah.
Okay. USA High.
Sort of.
Yeah.
No.
I remember that loads of fictions.
Were they
Rocking
in a
at
dormitory?
USA High.
Were they in a dorm?
They were in a dorm. Yeah. It was Lazzarini was like a short, stocky Italian dude, and he was one of the Lost Boys in Hook.
Yeah.
The Italian-looking one. What else do we have there?
I remember, was it California Dreams?
California Dreams, don't wake me up
the
if
surfing
I'm
man.
dreaming.
Yeah.
They had a band.
What the fuck?
Oh, mate.
I'd
What
love
was
to
it
watch
called?
some on
California
YouTube.
Waves.
California Dreams.
Do you ever watch them on
Oh,
YouTube?
yeah,
Old
yeah,
episodes
yeah.
too?
Yep.
Yeah, I bet.
I've
they're
done
great to watch.
remarkably dated.
Yeah.
Looking back, is the quandaries. Remember in Hang Time when Teddy Brodus was smoking just to kill his appetite, he was like heading into the locker room during practice to have a sneaky fag,
Yeah.
and just like lighting it, giving it. Crowd go oh like that. Quick spray of deodorant back in. Coach Fuller walks in. Teddy, what are you doing, man? Nothing, Coach. Bit of smoke comes out. Shit hits the fan. Coach Fuller says, "You know the rules, Teddy. If you smoke, you're not on the team." So I thought it was a bit harsh.
Yeah.
They showed his performance being quite poor, but his character in it, Teddy Brodus, weighed about 300 pounds. So he's not the sort of guy you'd expect to see
Which
on a
guy is
basketball
he?
court. He's a big black dude.
Oh yeah.
He's in loads of films after as well. He's in Me, Myself and Irene.
Oh,
plays one of
yeah,
the main sons in that.
Oh yeah.
So, sorry, back to Saved by the Bell. Dustin Diamond, Screech,
Yeah.
charged with stabbing that bloke
Charged.
on, he stabbed him on Christmas Day, wasn't it?
Shit.
So drinking with his missus on Christmas Day, guy gave him a bit of lip, or said something nasty to his better half, and yeah, he stabbed him.
That was a Saved by the Bell episode.
No.
As soon as you just said 2 episodes.
Screech
straight to mine.
stabbed a guy with a fucking pencil twice and was charged for it.
In a bar.
in a
On
bar on
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day with his
That's
fucking
great.
Oh, what you know about the
girlfriend.
actor that played him? In real life?
I am on about
Definitely.
Oh,
Zoink, Zach! I don't know who I'm gonna get to go with the dance. Hey, nerd! Go!
Yeah.
Fucking die! Go! I've
Up
had
against
enough!
the locker.
Yeah. Had enough. I've just had enough, Zach. Screech. Everybody just calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Everybody just shut up. Hey, what's going on here, sir? No.
Yeah.
You stabbed the guy. I'll call the police. Really gritty episode. Dustin Diamond charged with stabbing that bloke on Christmas. And there is an the film is called The Unauthorized Saved by the Bell story. It's a dramatisation of the plight of the young actors cast in Saved by the Bell. And it's based on Dustin Diamond's heavily ghost-written autobiography.
I don't understand what this is.
Okay.
What is the show?
It's not a show, it's a film.
A film
Yeah.
about the cast of Saved by the Bell.
And yeah, the pressures of fame and what got
And
to
they're
them.
playing their lives autobiographically.
We'll watch it and do a film commentary. Those are
Yeah,
coming up.
yeah,
Any more suggestions for
Definitely
shit
gonna be one of the
films?
worst films ever made.
Email us, thelast7podcast@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter at
This is getting ridiculous.
thelast7. Still bleeding quite a lot.
It's like Halloween, yeah.
Have you seen the Beavis and Butthead episode, Beavis is Bleeding?
No.
Great. Put a link up to that as well.
Fucking hell, dude. I don't know what to do about this.
You'll be alright. We're going to rip it out soon anyway, so at least you'll be able to put pressure on the wounds. That won't hurt.
That will hurt.
Oh no, yeah, sorry, will hurt.
Fuck.
He feels no pain. Sorry, my English. He feels only pain. Christopher Lee died, of course, last Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it blows. What's your favourite Christopher Lee performance or film?
The Wicker Man, for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's gotta be. He's
Fucking
really
love
creepy
the
in that,
Wicker
isn't
Man.
he?
Yeah.
I like Scaramanga, I do. It's
Scaramanga.
the first Bond film I saw now with the Golden Gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's him, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't whip out the Lord of the Rings.
He's
film.
good at that. Well, no, yeah, he's good at that, but you know.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, he's pretty kick-ass.
He is really good at playing that sort of character. I mean, he's good in
Yeah.
Star Wars as well, isn't he?
Yeah, they brought it up on Hollywood Babylon because they do a section on there called Tinseltown Stiffs, and they said, yeah, he's the only guy to fight Yoda. Does a fucking good job of it too.
Yeah.
Real good job.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. Go Christopher Lee, man. 93 years old. Recorded a couple of heavy metal albums as well.
And how did he,
Oh,
die?
yeah,
How
he
did he
did,
die
didn't he?
again?
Old.
Was it just the old age?
Yeah, 93, buddy. Bit of local news.
Oh, yeah?
You know that Geeked Fest is coming to Newport Centre.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Well, I say I can't wait.
Because I don't like that. What do they call it? Cosrock.
Cosplay.
Cosplay.
Cosplay being when people go in their best costumes of their favourite characters.
And they play.
Yeah, they do. Found out a couple of things. Our comic book guy, I say as he's Ken, do you know what I mean? I've seen him a couple of times and he said things like, don't bend the spines. And what?
Terry, the man who.
In the market.
Yeah.
And the reason you're bringing this up is I went in to see him on Saturday, and he mentioned this to me. After I left the market, then this guy came up to me and said, "Oh, sorry, mate. Do you know where the Games Workshop is?"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ken dude.
Ah.
I know.
Ken dude.
Hat, blue hair, thick glasses.
Oh,
Excuse me, mate. Do you know what the Games Workshop is? Failing that, can you fix my computer?
Basically.
Got any Pokemon cards?
Is that good feeling?
What?
To be someone that someone would expect directions to Games Workshop from?
I don't know. That's where I was going to bring it up because I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Especially because my response is, "Oh, there isn't one in Newport anymore."
Ooh.
You go Cumbraen or Cardiff.
Here's the address and phone number.
Well, no, just to clarify, I haven't
Ask
been
for
at
Steve.
scale.
You've stopped in the middle.
I
of
can't
both of the
believe.
places
I'm not.
to have it.
I'm not surprised that place closed down. Like parents couldn't afford to fund their like little nerdy kids and you know, fucking obsessions with little.
Oh,
toys
mate.
like that. They've
Wow.
got like a whole section in Waterstones on like just Warhammer books and stuff and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, gameplay
Yeah, it's
It goes deep, mate.
books. It's
People
crazy.
get really into it.
Yeah.
The first guy I saw playing it, and it didn't want me to. It didn't make me want to get into it actually because I was at Games Workshop. I used to do model planes quite a lot before I got into the big magnifying glass and the little figures. So I was there buying paints. They got the best selection. So there I was, and they were just playing like on a big sort of landscape in the middle of the shop. And there were these three kids. I was about maybe 15 or 16, and there were these three kids who were about 10, 11, and one of the guys who worked there, and he rolled these dice. And then he moved his guys, and then the kid rolled his dice, and he tried to move some guys. He went, no. And he was like, oh, sorry, it's just I'm not. And he went, no. They have to stay on the battlements. Your archers can move forward 5, and your cavalry can move forward 6 or 8. But then your archers can only move forward 3. And he went, I only know because I've been playing for 25 years, okay? So if I was you, I'd do this. And he moved his stuff, and paint, and just went, nah, I don't think this is for me, actually.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's alright to be into it when you're a kid. Gets beyond that, you're kind of an obsessive, and you're happy to shout at children.
Was this in the one in Newport?
No, this was in Cardiff.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, because there was a dickhead guy in the one in Newport.
Oh, there's a few of them in each shop, I think.
I went in there the once and I asked him if I could buy the whole Lord of the Rings Fellowship set, but if he would paint them all for me and then they'd charge me more to buy them off, and he said no, it's a hobby, you've got to do it yourself. I was like, but I don't think I'd do a very good job of painting them. I just really want the figures. I want the whole.
That
the
doesn't
whole
make him a
set.
dickhead, mate.
No.
And he was like, I was
makes you a dickhead.
I was offering to pay him like for the
How much more did you offer?
plus for him to paint it, and I told
Yeah,
him
a
he
quid
could name
each
his
for the
price.
painting.
How much
Yeah.
more?
I
for
told
the
him.
painting?
I told him to name his price. He wouldn't even name his price. He wasn't having it at all.
He's got his own shit to paint, probably, instead of doing all
I've
your
done it.
garbage.
I've done it.
I still think about it now. I'm gutted.
Nah, I
You get
wouldn't,
it.
actually. I think that's like that is like a live by the sword, die by the sword mentality with those fucking Warhammer dudes.
Yeah, I agree.
Gotta do it yourself.
He's like,
You want
no,
it. They looked
it's
amazing.
a hobby. You've got to do it.
I was like, can I just buy the ones
You know,
in the
it's
window?
fucking
then?
good.
Like,
Bang
really-
on! That's some good salesmanship. He's
Yeah.
just like, no, and they're just gonna, do you want these grey figures? No, you're gonna have to paint them. You can buy the figures painted. You
Yeah.
can buy figurines of
I said to him, can I just buy the ones in the display window then that are already painted? And he said no. He said no, they're for display.
Yeah, they're for display. You can't just go buy.
Yeah, but he wanted them for display as well.
Yeah, quite right. But
I
they're
didn't
for
want to play with them. I just wanted them on my shelf, like just so I could look.
You
at them.
still want them, don't you?
Yeah, really bad.
all right.
I want the set.
Yeah, but
Ah.
surely it's the same as going to a musician and saying, "Can I pay to have you play at my daughter's wedding?"
Nope.
It's the same fucking thing.
No, it isn't.
Can I pay you
Because the musician's going to go,
for
no,
your skill?
learn
It's
to play
his job.
guitar.
It's like paying an artist to paint you a picture of your house or something.
Fucking
No,
hell.
what the fuck? Picture of the house. If you ever have that done, we're not friends anymore. I mean it, like. But it's the same as you go to a musician, go play at my wedding, mate, and he goes, no, just learn to play guitar, dickhead.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's wrong.
It's not, because the
It's
musician's
not,
job
though,
is to
because
play
the
music.
yeah.
The guy's job isn't to paint your figures. He works in Games Workshop.
And he paints figures as a hobby.
Yeah.
Alright, so I should have just got an artist. I should have bought the
Oh,
set.
fuck me.
Gone to an
Why?
artist. Said,
Why
can you
this-
paint these for
This
me?
elaborate fucking scheme with the buy
I
some
should have just bought the plain box set and then
What
just
the
gone and given it to another artist. to paint
or
it.
just bought some figurines that are painted, some
Or
statues.
just not done that. Just
Yeah.
watch the fucking
Yeah,
film.
I looked, mate. I looked, but I wanted the whole kit and the size, the actual size they were in.
Would you tell other people that you painted them? Would you go, or would you just not correct them if they went, these are amazing?
No, I would. I'd probably lie and say I painted them.
Right. No, well, we've got to the heart of it then. You wanted to not only cadge off his hobby, but all of his skill as well. Claim it as your own. The comic book guy's name
Yeah.
is Terry Gay.
What? Really?
Very gay.
I didn't know his surname was
No,
gay.
it-
No, he kept it quiet for some reason.
Oh my god.
No, it's a shame, but it's not the best thing about the article. I went, oh, that's a bit unfortunate. But as I say, he gets a lot of coverage in it. Got a good thing said. So yeah, there's a picture of Shane Jordan in his comic book shop in Cwmbran, and a few guys in cosplay. Now, if you could just, I've
From Geeks
covered up
Fest.
the I've covered up the names at the bottom, and I just want you to tell me who these characters are. I'll put a picture up, obviously.
All right.
So, at the far right then, if you can tell me who that is.
The Riddler.
And the chap at the front.
There's a new Ryan Reynolds film.
Okay, you're out of time. It's Deadpool.
Yeah.
This is Shane Jordan as himself.
Right.
And this chap.
Gambit.
Oh,
Some
well
of it.
done.
Shit effort that is though.
Look at the Riddler.
Oh,
mate.
shit,
Look at the
effort.
Riddler.
I think the Riddler's good, but the hat is not the Riddler's hat.
No,
the
because
hat
the
is
point about the Gambit guys, it looks like he's just a bloke who's turned up there.
Yeah,
And someone had a pack of cards. Stand here.
handed it to him. You're a
That
good
is
Gambit.
what that is.
You should have made more of an effort. The guy who's doing the
Oh
Riddler. Is
my
it a woman?
God.
Is it a woman?
No, it is a
Dude,
guy.
this is bleeding so much.
should've put
Like
the
it's
orange.
really bleeding. Look how much blood is in there.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, this is not right.
It absorbs in tissue. It looks loads worse than it is, mate.
Fuck off.
We're gonna get rid of it soon anyway. Got a bit of this week in
Dude,
history to
it
calm
is-
yourself down.
Oh, yes, mate.
Lower your heart rate.
Can
Clean
we
your
get the
hands.
fuck back there.
All right, you ready? Let's get the fuck back then. This week in 1215, the Magna Carta is signed. Remember the Magna Carta from school?
No.
Oh yeah. Is that the king's signature to mean that law can be passed without his permission?
Nice. It's a pretty good description of some of the stuff that's in it. It means, it means Great Charter. And it was King John who signed it to agree with nobles that he wouldn't be such a twat. Because he was imprisoning them for no reason. Taxation was really, really high. And they had enough. They were like, look, we're going to keep rebelling. We're going to keep killing you guys when they come and try and collect taxes. Unless you sort something out. So at Runnymede in 1215, signed the Magna Carta. And then there was peace throughout the world. Not one war since.
It sounds like Game of Thrones, doesn't it?
Oh, God, you watch fucking Game of Thrones. God. God.
Apparently everyone's done with it. They don't like what happened in the last episode. This is apparently true. Last episode of Game of Thrones, no one wants to fucking watch the next series. Everyone's signed off from it.
Yeah, I'm imagining when the next series does come out, they'll have 0 viewers.
Yeah.
No, fucking everyone will watch it. But why? I don't know what's happened that everyone would fuck it off. What
Don't worry
happened?
about it.
Do you know what happened?
Of course. I love Game of Thrones.
Do you want to fuck it off?
No. It's amazing.
What happened that was so bad?
Jon Snow dies right at the end.
Shut up.
What?
No, don't
He's
talk about
for
it.
real, isn't he? Oh.
Dude.
Oh.
He might not. He might not. I might be kidding.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Might be an
man,
elaborate double
seriously.
bluff.
No.
Oh, come on, it's Game of Thrones. Every fucker dies.
No,
Every
mate, I don't
character.
know.
Dad described it really well the other day as there's no hero shield. So
Yeah.
everyone is vulnerable. Everyone can go down. And like Jon Snow dies, mate. There's no way around it. He wasn't kidding.
This week in 2012. I thought it was loads earlier. I'll explain why in a minute. Nick Wallander of the Flying Wallanders becomes the first person to tightrope walk across Niagara Falls.
What?
I thought it had been done loads before by a guy called Blondin,
Right.
the most famous tightrope walker, acrobat of his day. If you were a tightrope walker, you were called a Blondin. That's how far his reach was. So you'd be like the Australian Blondin, the female Blondin,
Oh, right.
all this business. But yeah, he went over Niagara Gorge, which is a bit before the falls. I didn't know that. But not only did he go across there, after doing it loads and people getting kind of bored of the feat, he took a lion in a wheelbarrow across on a tightrope.
Way.
Serious? Used to do somersaults wearing stilts on a tightrope. He was able to balance on a chair and sort of hop his way across with one of the legs of the chair.
Amazing.
On the rope, he took some eggs and a frying pan and a little cooking stove once and made an omelette halfway across.
What the?
Ate the omelette,
fuck?
put it all in a backpack.
Over the canyon.
Over the
gorge?
the Niagara Gorge.
He cooked eggs and ate them.
Yeah, cooked an omelette. Yeah. He had his manager on his back, really quite a fat dude as well, so he had to stop a couple of times to catch his breath. He was incredible. He was absolutely amazing.
A bit shady that they put a lion in a wheelbarrow and wheeled it across the.
Dude, they once in the 30s, I think, made a big ark, made like a Noah's Ark, and filled it with bears, giraffes, and lions and stuff, and just sailed it over the falls.
What?
Yeah, just sailed it over.
And killed them all.
Yeah, killed them all. Well, one bear survived and tried to escape, and they shot it.
When? In 1930?
I think it's in the 1930s, something like that. Maybe a bit earlier. There was a huge
Why?
thing about people.
Please say that happened this week in 1930.
I have no
That'd be
idea. I have
amazing.
no idea. No, I heard it on QI for definite.
Oh, yeah,
All this
yeah.
stuff about Niagara Falls. 'Cause there was a big thing about people going over in barrels, and then after a few people did it, there was a guy who went over in handcuffs with an anvil tied to his feet, and they found a severed arm inside the barrel that washed up. That was it.
Oh my god! They didn't find the rest of him.
Nope. It's fucking vast, Niagara Falls, man.
It's huge. I've been there.
Do you think the lion they gave it drugs?
I think they might have sedated the lion.
Yeah, fucking right.
Because it's a lion, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Well, if you try to take Marilyn across, she wouldn't be having any of it.
I don't think the lion would jump out of the wheelbarrow though.
No.
No, I think it would realise that it can't. It would realise that it can't jump off it, so it would just stay on
You
there.
think it would think it through?
Yeah.
It would just be shitting
The
itself.
lion that they got was a huge Blondin
speaking
fan
of-
anyway. It was a prize draw from the zoo. All the animals that liked him sort of put their sort of hoof print or paw print in a hat, and yeah, like Leo came out the winner. You see what happened to Dave Grohl this week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good fucking
No, what
nomination.
He
What for hero?
right.
Yeah.
You know Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
We are onto a fucking winner with this one then. He was playing a gig in Gothenburg, and he was in the second tune, Monkey Wrench, and he was diving about a bit and he fell off the stage. He did an edge, but unlike Edge, he really took a fucking massive tumble. He broke his leg. He tweeted a picture of the X-ray after the gig, and it's really quite broken. And then just announced on the microphone straight afterwards that he was going to go to hospital and then he was going to come back and finish the gig. There's a bit of what's it called? There's melancholy in the crowd, I think, as they didn't know whether he meant sort of later in the year or later on. But he said, no, I'm going to go to the hospital, be right back. Went backstage, decided not to go to the hospital, got it all bandaged up and was nice, and he sat him on a chair and he finished the rest of the gig.
On a chair.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
So I can't run and jump around, but I can still play guitar and scream. He then cancelled the next 3 or 4 gigs, I think.
That's fair though.
It just made me think, like, why the fuck didn't whoever in Fleetwood Mac was injured just carry on, fucking bitch?
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
old.
Whoa, what do you mean fucking bitch?
Well, could have probably
Could have been Stevie Nicks, yeah.
Stevie Nicks. I'm jealous of the Foo Fighters fans that got the gig anyway.
Yeah.
That's really
Painful.
bitter. That's really sour behaviour.
First band I ever saw live, first gig I went to was Foo Fighters.
And
That's
you're
pretty
gutted that lots of other people got to enjoy it.
Probably better in Gothenburg though, right? When he did the fall off the
Yeah.
stage. More of a back catalogue to play as well, probably, since you saw him. Haven't done it for ages and ages and ages, and it's not how it was before. I'm just going to tell you a couple of things. For pseudoscience of the week.
Ah, nice.
I mentioned before that I was training some nurses today. It was a topic that I've not done before, although I speak about drugs quite a lot to different people, and it was on slimming tablets.
Oh yeah.
Implicated, or rather, directly responsible for at least 4 deaths this year, and at least 12 over the last 4 years in the UK. These are all caused by one specific chemical called DNP, or dinitrophenol, 2,4-dinitrophenol it's called. And it's billed as like a metabolism booster. It's used as a pesticide, it's used as a wood preservative as well, if it's mixed with a thing called isopropanol. People take it. When they say metabolism booster, there's a lot of jargon to get through it as well. What they actually mean is it does boost your metabolism. In other words, the way that cells make glucose into other stuff and make other cells. But it just it makes you lose weight through a process called thermogenesis, which is just heating you up. So your heart beats a lot faster, your brain functions a lot quicker as well. Not to make you smarter, it's just you have like a load more synaptic impulses going off at one time. It also increases the amount of a chemical called noradrenaline that's available to your brain. So people, when they're exercising, they're able to go for longer because there's more oxygen available to them.
Right.
Even bodybuilders, who are some of the most risk-taking drug users, although they don't see themselves as such, in terms of poor injecting practice, even they decry DNP as to use in exercise
really?
because of the risk of it. Yeah. The slimming pills basically come in 3 forms. There are pharmaceuticals that are licensed, unlicensed pharmaceuticals, and then the herbal stuff. The pharmaceutically licensed ones are prescribed to people pre-surgery who are like super obese, and how they work, they're called lipase inhibitors, and they stop fat being absorbed in the gut.
Right.
So if you have a high fatty diet, then it runs it straight through you. You get you're incontinent basically. You don't know when you're gonna go for a poo. It's really, really horrible the way they work. But they're for extreme circumstances, and it's not even for just people who are obese. It's if that person's obesity is a direct threat to their health. That's why they'll get prescribed. It's normally a drug called orlistat. Absorption of fat sounds like a good idea, but it's also quite dangerous because we need fat. We need fats, and we need protein, and we need carbohydrates, we need sugars. We need all of these things. And if you take away one of them, it can have adverse effects on the gut, especially bacteria that normally doesn't form, and you can get really quite bad illnesses. Unlicensed pharmaceuticals are your ephedrine and the ones that have got a lot of caffeine. The unlicensed pharmaceuticals and herbals cross over quite a bit. Caffeine, of course, is a natural ingredient, as is ephedrine. Really powerful stimulant, but it comes from a plant called ephedra.
Ephedrine?
Yeah. I know people say ephedrine, but I'm sure it's ephedrine. Ephedrine or ephedrine, anyway. I'll record a couple and chuck them in. With unlicensed pharmaceuticals, however, you also get powerful stimulant stuff that's kind of amphetamine based or cathinone based, like MCAT or methadone is. And those are normally prescribed in private slimming clinics, and this is where it gets really quite dark. Private slimming clinics, Which Health magazine last year found that over half of them were prescribing weight loss medication to women without weight problems. Now, these slimming clinics appeal to people who not just want to lose weight, or they're not sort of the weight loss camps that we discussed beforehand for these people to go to.
Yeah.
People who got a bit more money than sense and want to get a good bod. Sometimes even worse than that, it's people who have got body dysmorphia, and there are quacks who will just dispense this medication. Unlicensed, I hear you ask, how can they do it? An unlicensed medicine can be prescribed by a doctor in the UK as long as he takes personal responsibility for it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, at private slimming clinics, there's a lot more that they take responsibility for, but they make patients sign waivers, quite hefty waivers, not only because of the medication they're dispensing, but also because of some of the ridiculous treatments that they offer, like yogurt and caffeine enemas. Say yogurt because it's got bacteria in it, and they think bacteria in the gut. It makes people think, that it's healthy. Same with the coffee thing. It'll stimulate you, it'll help you to lose weight, and it'll flush out the system. Not true. It'll get rid of that essential bacteria in the gut I was talking about before. Cause a lot of problems. So they have to sign off on a lot of these things. That's the really evil branch of it, is private slimming clinics, in my opinion. Herbal stuff is pretty much all bollocks. There are a few supplements in there. They're normally high in fibre, so that you can feel fuller. They've normally got caffeine in them, so it will suppress appetite, give you a bit of an energy boost. But most of the ingredients found will just be like innocuous, non-poisonous, or just trace amounts of. The zinc's really popular, but they also have sort of guar gum and beeswax and hemp seeds. Anything you can care to mention can be included in herbal remedies, but they're actually more often than not banned than unlicensed pharmaceuticals because of the Trades Descriptions Act. Herbal medication makes ridiculous claims. Most recent one that's been banned is a thing called raspberry ketones. Ketones are a very specific thing in the body that regulate blood sugar. And they also give raspberries their sweet scent and taste. I was speaking with a nurse today, and she said when diabetics come into a clinic and they're hypoglycemic and they have too many ketones, they can smell raspberries on their breath.
Whoa.
Their breath smells really, really sweet.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea, but she was pretty convincing today. Ketones, they do a specific thing, but taking raspberry ketone supplements won't affect that whatsoever. It seems that the marketing ploy has been ketone, sounds quite good. Key is an essential, tone, I would like a toned body. And raspberry, who doesn't like the taste of raspberries? They've been taken off the market though for making ridiculous claims, but you can still buy raspberry ketone extract. Point of the whole thing is that there is a way to lose weight, and we've evolved perfectly over hundreds of millions of years in order to make this happen. We've developed the cooking and things so that we don't have to break down raw food in our stomachs, so we can take on more calories. We've evolved to take all of these nutrients on board in a balanced way. We crave fat and sugar as mammals because we don't know, how long winter's going to be and what we have to store up. So, eat less, exercise more. That's the only advice you can give to people. Diet pills are bollocks.
I've got an interesting concept for a question of tone.
Alright.
Because it's the 50th episode. Imagine we had 50 quid. We
Justin,
have to take guesses.
Justin, are things really that bad?
What?
Imagine we had 50 quid.
Will you tell me, Ken? The question of tone should be, for 50 quid, would you? We each have to pitch one, right? And he has to tell us if he would do it for 50 quid.
Alright.
And if he wouldn't, what would he do it for? And then whoever winds up being the closest.
Are you sitting comfortably, my friend?
Yes.
Alright. It's time for a question of tone. For £50, would you hold my cock and balls for half an hour? I can walk about and that, but you've just got to hold them. Like, I've just got my summer boxes. You've just got to hold them all the way around. When I sit down, you just got to
in the
cup them.
flesh?
Keep them. Yeah, in the flesh.
In the flesh? How else would you do it?
No, it's in like, can I be doing it?
You've got a Russian nurse,
trousers,
mate.
or do I have to actually
Oh,
do it
that's a
bare
question.
skin? 50
No,
quid is a
just-
good amount of money. It's generous.
It is generous.
What, to hold his cock and balls for how long?
Half an hour.
Fucking, are
Half an
you
hour.
Yeah, half an
No,
hour.
I'm thinking about it.
50 quid?
And
I
what-
would
Pro
not
rata,
do
that's
that.
100 quid an
50
hour,
I
mate.
think
Dude,
I do 50
I do a lot of
quid.
shit
I think
for
I
money.
do 50 quid every 5 minutes. So
Every 5 minutes?
yeah, because you're saying half an hour, aren't you? So
Half an hour of holding his balls and walking around
Yeah, I
with
know,
your
mate.
hands.
Because the half an hour is a lot. I mean, you could
And he
nip,
could urinate in that time.
you could nip into work, mate.
Yeah.
Not with my cock and balls out. I
I'd
don't think
do
of
that. If,
No, but his hand's covering them.
The
so
only
he'd
way
be
I would do
fine.
any-
Well, you've got jeans on and he's just reaching up and around.
the only way I'd do anything like that is if me and Dan agreed to not even speak to each other while it was happening.
Oh no, I'd want to
That'd
converse
be
properly.
weird,
That'd
be
like-
way weird.
That'd be much
That'd be like
stranger.
a gimp.
Okay, maybe to talk about anything other than what we're doing.
Of course.
Yeah.
And to not talk about it once it's over, once that half an hour is over, just pay up the dollar and just leave it. Never
50
speak
quid?
to it ever again.
50 quid. Fucking
No.
hell.
No.
Right, so you're saying 50 quid
For half an hour, mate, I'm gonna have to go 300.
I wanna touch. Go back. No, I wanna touch. Oh yeah. I want to go back to.
You can do it if you want, Ken. I'm sure
No.
he'll charge you. But
50
No, I
quid.
want to go back to something that was mentioned in a previous episode, which was about us giving you a middle name.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. No.
Would you let us pick that for 50 quid? You
50
get
quid.
50 quid, and then we pay to have
No.
to have it done legally.
How much
To
will that
send you
cost?
the name? Not very much, I don't think.
I feel like I'd have to hear the name before I agree
No.
to the name.
No.
No, that's not how it works, mate.
No. We might pick Gandalf. You think we'd pick something really shitty? We're your
Oh,
friends.
we pick awesome
But the only thing with the middle name, it's not too bad. It just has to be on my like any ID form of ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Official ID.
But no one walks around calling you by your middle names.
We will.
yeah, that might be
I
a trend
win.
that starts around.
I'd win.
Okay.
Rhaegar. Could be some of that. Could be toss bag.
That's the gamble, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
man, it's amazing.
I'd probably do it for
50 quid's a lot of money.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you literally nothing.
yeah. I'm trying to balance. I'm trying to sort of weigh it up with Dan's and thinking, well, if Dan's is 300, then that's nowhere near as bad, really, is it? So that's gonna. Have
No,
to be.
it's nothing like it.
I'm just worried that if I say an amount, you guys will actually think putting the money together to have it done.
Well, you better make it high, mate.
I'd probably let you do
50.
it. I'd probably let you do it for like
50 quid.
100. No, 200.
200.
£200.
200.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about changing my name. It's not right.
I could do-
You're not
I
changing
could
the
do it,
name,
we're
you're
just
adding
adding
the
a
name.
What I could do
Oh,
is I could just put
100,
like eat a
100,
wine
100,
gum.
150.
Oh, have you got any?
150.
Yeah, but dude, I could just say eat this gummy sweet, and then I'd win by default because you could.
But then you've got to give him 50 quid.
No,
Who's the winner there, mate?
Yes, those trainers all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, I should have seen this wicked scammer pulled my brother. Bought these trainers off him, cleaned them, wearing them. Then you're missing out the scam. You're missing out where I fucked him over. I cleaned them, and now I'm wearing them. He's not. Did you get one?
I got one for him. 3 days of a week, yeah? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or we pick the days. So I reckon we're going to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Busy days, you're outside all those days, aren't you? Working away in the shop. Saturday, probably out and about doing a few things in the evening, maybe, right? We each get a day, and we come round to yours. What time do you get up in the morning?
7.
So we go around at about like 6:30.
Oh, what you mean before work?
Yeah.
Oh, 6.
There you go then. We'll
Yeah,
go
I'm going
around
to need some money for
half
this
6
as well, I think.
still.
Yeah, they should.
And we get to paint your face however we want, with whatever we want, and you have to have that on for the whole day.
It can't be anything, obviously, ridiculous. It can't be a swastika or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that, because we want you to have it on for the rest of the day, but it could be all blue.
Yeah. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
That's worse than like actually.
That's worse than a pattern or anything.
That's just like
all
why.
blue is just like
And then
one
one day,
My point was that we wouldn't be able to do all black, say.
and then
So-
another day it's just all orange or something, or yellow. It's just
Yeah.
like customers who are just gonna see me every week with a face and think it's some strange.
50
Yeah.
quid for that.
No.
Oh.
50 quid a day.
Calm down.
One day.
Yeah, I do it for 50 quid a day. For each day that you paint my face, I do it for 50 quid. Yeah.
So we're talking about 150 quid.
Well, not for 3. I wouldn't go for the
No,
day.
but so if we did just one day, if we just picked a
Yeah,
Friday,
my price
50
then
quid.
is 150 quid.
No, your price is 50 quid.
Hang on a minute. Thursday, I'll do it for 50. Friday, I gotta do it for 70. Saturday, 100 quid. More people see my face on a Saturday.
Ah,
But I reckon
210
I
quid.
seriously fucking think for 50 quid I'm willing to fucking put some money in
Well,
to
yeah.
just do his face blue. In years to come, you know, like in say like 10 years or like maybe less than that, like 6 years, we can show up like that, like, alright mate, yeah, okay, yeah, we've decided to do a blue face Thursday tomorrow.
I was gonna say that was
Do you know
gonna
what
be
I
my
mean?
thing. I was gonna say that you don't get to pick which Thursday.
No,
you might
no,
say
no.
it's the Thursday, but you know,
Yeah.
if someone's funeral lands on a Thursday,
Oh,
you might
I
have to
think
do it, mate.
shit.
I think you know, like
Don't
just
get married on a
feeling-
Thursday.
going for
Feeling
plain
blue.
blue isn't enough. I have to wear a white hat and white shorts as well, do I?
Fine.
Yeah, if you want.
yeah,
Free
you do,
caveat
yeah.
you want to chuck in there, no
Like a
worries.
Smurf.
When you have a sale on blueberries on that day.
Oh,
You go with
you've
that.
given him a really good out, mate.
No, because I've said I'll be there and I'll go,
Oh,
bullshit,
man.
this is. It's you doing it for 50 quid.
You and your brother should paint your faces blue and sell blueberries a day, like for a day.
Blueberry Tuesdays.
Yeah,
I think.
Blueberry Tuesdays, man. Paint your face just blue. That'd be fucking amazing.
Blues Day.
So I win.
Yeah.
Shit!
Well, I've been having a lot of weird dreams lately because I keep waking up earlier than I should be, and then like falling back to sleep, and that's when you dream.
Yeah,
when you-
Yeah, man.
I don't know why that keeps happening.
I hate those. Have you ever had a myoclonic jerk? It's that thing where you go, where you're about to doze off and then you feel like you're about to fall off something. I'm always walking on a curb.
Yeah.
Always on a curb, and it's one foot that goes down.
Oh shit! I just remember
God.
like a horrible nightmare thing I had when we were in, like, I think it was the second year uni or third year of uni, and I woke up in the shared student house on my own that morning that I'd had this dream,
Oh.
and I was really quite terrified by it, by the fact that I was on my own when I woke up, because the dream was so horrible. There was like aerial views and stuff in it, like as if it was a film being shot and stuff.
Okay.
I was in this like it was like a white church on the outside. The dream started with me arriving at this church with all my family and friends, right? A little bit like a Nordic looking church. What's it called? Like Norwegian church.
Yeah.
And we all walked in there, and it was just a big hall with like long tables set up with like loads of plates and wine glasses ready and wine bottles, like, because we were gonna have a big feast with all the family and all the friends. And there was I don't know what the celebration was, but then all of a sudden we all sat around and we were having a really good time, and we were all eating and stuff and drinking wine, and I was stood up and I could see like everyone sat on these long tables, and then all of a sudden people started like laughing like hysterically, but couldn't stop. And then like people were like starting to like get fat like really quick and like getting boils and stuff, and the room was getting louder and louder of people like laughing hysterically and then screaming and then coughing, and there was all this horrible stuff, and I was watching it all, and like relatives and friends were just like going bright red, bursting and catching on fire, and then the whole room was like just they were all on fire.
Holy shit.
And then everyone started running around and stuff, and like running through the walls and shit, and the church like collapsed. And then the next thing was like a shot of like people scream. Each individual member of the family and friends that were in that hall were floating in the middle of the ocean on their own individual like raft boat, right? And it was like a camera view, like aerial view of one of the person's mouths, and then it zoomed up into the sky of them screaming, and they were just like black from where it was just black and bone, like where they like body where their flesh had burnt off completely, and they were just like this crusty black skeleton tied to this raft with like rope, floating in the middle of the ocean. It zoomed away from them, and they were like screaming, and then you could see all the other people on their rafts, like black skeletons screaming. And I woke up at that point. There was just this aerial view of all these rafts floating in the middle of the ocean.
Cinematic.
It was freaking horrific as hell, and I woke up and I was so freaked out by it. I was like nearly wanted to cry.
It's a room of people bubbling and boiling and popping and burning.
Can you imagine trying to fucking... What would a psychologist make of that? Your family and friends exploding and setting on fire in a church, and then being set on rafts. That is amazing.
The noise,
so well told as well, man. Really vivid.
The noise of them all screaming and laughing and then catching fire just kind of merged into the like blackout, and then the next shot of the one person in the raft, and then it was just so like intense, the sound, and then like seeing the visual. It was crazy. I'm sure there's loads of other weird ones I've had, but to try and remember them.
You've done brilliantly as always this episode, Antonio, and we're going to finish with you, but we're going to go to Ken very quickly first as we take a step into the literary salon.
Yeah, very quickly, because I've only read one book in the last
Kenny, one book.
No, it was very, very small. I read a collection of short stories by Raymond Carver called What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say about it. It was alright.
It was shit, wasn't it, Ken?
No, it wasn't shit.
Hell, yeah.
No,
that's
it wasn't
what I got
shit.
from that.
No, because I'd say so. It was I don't know if I got it. He writes about, well, obviously they're all about, love in one way or another, but in one form or another rather. But he writes very Raymond Carver I don't think he ever wrote a novel. I think he was one of those guys that wrote short stories, like Alice Munro or someone like that. There's a certain amount, like you get a lot of American writers who, because I think the short story is really respected there more than it is here, and I think that you get people like George Saunders, for example, is another short story writer. So guys that just write short stories, and they just into like the craft, and they just put these things together, and they just polish off these little gems of like you know, they're like.
There are definitive styles to it, especially
20
the American
pages.
stuff. Like, what's
The odd thing about this collection is there are 2 stories in the middle that end with murders, like
Right.
kind of out of nowhere. Like one was about, one is to tell you the story about these 2 guys who were like friends, like all through school, and they grew up together. And then there's the one guy he got married really young, and his mate's like, and he gets a career ahead of his mate, and so on. You know what I mean? So it's always about his friend, like seeing his mate as like older than him, and thinking he looks older, thinking he appears more like a man, more mature. But it sort of tells you this story in a couple of pages, but then it shifts to it being about them attending like a barbecue, which is at the guy's house, the really sort of the more successful one, you know, and the way that because there's a few kids, and it was easier rather than him trailing the kids around if they go up to their house, and there's all these discussions. And I think it was called Tell the Women We're Going, because there was a thing in it like we'll go out for a drive, maybe go and I don't know, shoot some hoops or something at this place, and they go out and drive
camping in the mountains.
No, but it's not. It's like just on a whim on the one day, like his mate's quite quiet and stuff, but then it's, you know, on a whim they go off and they go and I can't remember what it is. I think it might be bowling actually that they went to. This was at the weekend, so I'm sorry. I should have brought it down and just read it. I could have probably done it faster than in recounting it. But the point is that they go to like this bowling thing, and there's a lot of really sort of naturalistic dialogue in there. Then they're driving back, and there's these 2 girls on bikes that they drive up the side, and they're like chatting to, and the one guy's like, yeah, we should definitely go for it. And they end up like, you know, following them, and they go up these hills, and then the one guy, the more successful guy, he bashes their heads in with a rock.
Jesus.
Oh,
And that's the way that it. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
That's how it concludes. Oh.
Well, right, so I was thinking of like a craft.
comes out
the craft to it. That's good. Yeah.
They're not all like that. They've not all got like shock endings or twist endings, or you know. But yeah, there was another one which was about this couple who were they rented motel, or they owned a motel, and they rented the rooms out and stuff. And it's about, you know, problems in their marriage, and the fellas had an affair with one of the maids they used to employ. So it's about the 2 of them in this room drinking, trying to save their, you know, marriage, and ignoring they can hear the phone ringing in the office downstairs, and they're ignoring it. You know, there's another one about a woman being kept awake, or she's woken up in the middle of the night by the sound of the gate in the wind, and she goes out to lock it, and then she meets the next door neighbour, and it's like her husband's fallen out with the next door neighbour, and he's out like killing slugs, and she chats to him in this kind of strange sort of midnight moonlight, you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, sort of other world that exists. And
how killing slugs is that?
Yeah. And she goes back to bed, and she's forgotten to
Tiny gun.
Shut the gate.
Yeah. But it's kind of I think that one was more about the kind of affection people can have for each other, and the way people can fall out, and the distances that exist between us. Do you know what I mean? It was very like, I don't know really. I'm sort of having, I one of the reasons I picked it up, I bought it in Bristol, quite cheap in FOP, because books are £3 each or 2 for £5, and I spotted this, and I know that Haruki Murakami, I think Raymond Carver is his favourite author.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Haruki Murakami's still alive, obviously. Raymond Carver died in 1988, I think.
Yeah, didn't he do that tribute, like the When I Think About Running? What was he talking
That's
about?
Murakami.
Yeah.
That's
in tribute to.
Yeah, the title is what I talk about when I talk about running. I think Raymond Carver actually. I should have said. I think he wrote Shortcuts, Robert Altman film.
Oh right.
Anyway, I've kind of rambled on. I've not really said very much about Raymond Carver, but I think it's it's what people would call literary fiction. He's a sort of a writer's writer. It's one of those things of like, he's a North American writer, really writing day-to-day life and capturing snapshots of contemporary existence, or at least contemporaneous to him. The collection's from the sort of early 1970s. So it's short stories that are snapshots of the sort of human condition at the time, with a focus on love. Hence the title. What we talk about when we talk about love, but that is there is a story in it with that title. I mean it's enjoyable. As I say, beautifully crafted, really well balanced sentences, and you could tell because that's one of the things I think that your short story writers do really well is they really craft sentences. You know, every single thing is polished in the way that a novel is like a larger project, and sometimes, you know, it's a novel's about sustaining that in some way, isn't it? That
Quite right.
style. Whereas like the your short stories, like you can make, you know, quite daring stylistic choices.
Well, yeah, if you could draft something, you know, in a day, and then sort of reread that, if you could do that solid work that you'd have to do as an author with a novel, yeah, I can imagine it could be a really polished article. And I know what you mean when you say about, you know, that there'll be a certain artistry to it in that case.
Yes.
You'll see themes and forms develop in very specific ways because of the constraints you have of time, essentially.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy it. I don't have loads to say about it, but I think it's not. I wasn't massively, like, you know, pulled into it in the way that there are some books I've read recently, even that I've just boom, done it. You know, like when I read Stormouth, I read it in 2 sittings, and that's
Stunning.
you know quite a sizable piece.
Well worth it. I'll still have to watch that, man.
Yes,
The
I
first
need to
bit.
watch the second. The second episode was on yesterday.
Oh, right,
I haven't
okay,
watched it.
fantastic. Can't wait to get my teeth into that.
We'll talk about that next week, I think. Ian Banks was a brilliant storyteller, and I think you can read any of his novels very quickly. Yeah, he was fucking brilliant.
We're going to rip that thing out of Justin's ear pretty soon. We're going to take a trip down the garden from the literary salon to Tone's bookshed.
Can we not use the word rip?
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to tear the thing out of Justin's ear, disfiguring him
So
for
what's
life.
this Tone's bookshed?
What?
What's this bookshed all about?
Tone made a fort out of books, and one of those books fell. One of the luckily it wasn't a load-bearing book. Fell at his feet. Star Wars.
You know, yeah, basically I had a week where me and Lauren watched a different Star Wars movie. So by the time I got to the end, I thought, oh, I can't wait for the new film to come out, but I want to like know a bit more about the story before it comes out. And I realised I'd actually bought the trilogy of the books that came out just that follow on from the last film, not from Revenge of the Sith, but from Return of the Jedi. So I've started reading the first volume of these 3 books.
Easily halfway through that, look, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on chapter 16.
Yeah, you were on chapter 2 last week, mate.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You've been,
Yeah, I flew
you've been
through it.
reading.
Busy.
I flew through it. I am loving it. I'm well into it. The book is set like 5 years after the death of Darth Vader, so after that final battle. Leia, at the beginning of the book, you find out that Leia is pregnant with twins, and that they're expecting them to be like Jedis. Luke is hoping that when they're born, he can train them and stuff to be Jedis. We find out that there's actually, so there's only supposed to be, the only Jedis left is apparently what Yoda told Luke is that him and Leia are the only Jedis left. But at the beginning of this book, an admiral who is kind of like a follower of Darth Vader and is trying to sort of bring power back to the dark side again. He's on the search for something, and he comes across a dark Jedi which is still alive, who apparently was supposed to have died. So it turns out that there is another Jedi still alive, and he's been like hiding. He was hiding for the whole time that the war with Darth Vader was happening, because he knew that Jedis were at risk. So there's this big powerful lord who is approached by this admiral, and the admiral wants to use the Dark Jedi's powers to be able to like.
You say he's a
complete
Dark
his
Jedi. Do you mean he's bad?
yeah, as in he's like a sort of in terms
Sith.
of the dark side, yeah. But he's called a Dark Jedi
Okay.
in this book.
Okay.
That's how they're referring to him as.
Oh.
So he's not like
So not full on Sith then. Not a
Not a
Darth.
Sith Lord, I suppose. No,
Yeah,
but he
right.
must be the.
No, he's
Yeah.
just sort of like, I guess, the early stages of
Yeah.
say like Anakin or whatever.
The larval
before he
stages of the
became-
Sith.
Yeah. They go to this like island where there's these like creatures that can defend them against the Force. So they wear these animals around their necks, which sort of like shields off the power of any Jedi's.
Oh.
So that's how they can go. They go to this Dark Jedi who at first tries to destroy them, realizes he can't, and then has to listen to what sort of what idea they're trying to pitch to it. The idea is that they
Okay.
want him to help them sort of take over the Republic again,
Yeah.
and they promise that they can give him Luke Skywalker if he helps them.
Does he want to kill Luke Skywalker?
Because he doesn't know there's any more Jedis left, so he wants Luke Skywalker to turn to the dark side. See, so it's basically like almost like a repetition of what's already happened before. But yeah, so I've got as far as.
If I said no to my dad, it's definitely going to be a no to you. So
I've got as far as the Admiral and this Dark Jedi Carborth, his name is. I've got as far as them sort of starting on their mission to sort of find Luke. And one of the cool things about it though so far is that Luke feels like there was more for him to learn before, but then Yoda died, and then he sort of like didn't sort of finish his like Jedi training.
Yeah, he failed his Jedi training, if I remember.
fucking right.
So he feels
Useless
like
bollocks.
yeah. So he feels like there's more he
He's
needs
getting
to.
fucked up at the end, Luke. Remember, it's Darth Vader that saves him.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
So he feels like there's more he needs to learn about the Force, so he decides to go back to where he met Yoda, which is pretty cool. He goes back to like the swamp and stuff, hoping that maybe Yoda left something behind, or that he might see
What's
Yoda
it
again.
called?
You got to think when the film's finished, and that was it. You didn't know they were gonna fucking bring out more films. Like sort of how many years later was it? You'd be
'cause
dying for the story to carry on.
This is before the prequels, isn't it?
And that's what you want. You want it to reference back to things you already know, and that's what's made it more. That's what's made it enjoyable for me so far. Is just
Nailed
like
it.
hearing more about.
I read a book that references a film I really like.
But no, so he goes back.
That segment.
So Luke goes back, and he doesn't find Yoda, but he ends up stepping into this cave, which is sort of like haunted by the dark side.
Oh, typical.
And realizes why Yoda was there in the first place, because he was trying to keep this. He was trying to keep the dark side away. Sort of.
Alright, like just in this
He
cave.
was trying to
in the
protect.
cave.
He ends up finding like this key, which is encrypted with something in that cave, which he believes that he was supposed to find.
Yeah.
But it seems that the missing link to this key's found is actually in the Wookiee land, so they have to now journey to where the Chewbacca's from to find the missing piece.
Funny, I knew somebody on the.
This is not going to make good listening, because this is. I'm
Not if you banging down your fucking leg, it's not.
I'm making this sound so fucking boring.
No, you're not. It's good. We're back with Yoda. We're fine. We know there's going to be Wookiees in it. As soon as you finish, you can give us a lovely conclusion.
It's actually a really good read. Lando's is sort of like leading the mission now to like the to Carter, whatever it's called, where the Wookiees live. That's the Jedi guy on the cover of the book.
Nice.
That's Carborth, the Jedi, the Dark Jedi they didn't know existed.
Get a picture of that shit. Alright, mate. I look forward to hearing the rest of it.
Sorry about that terrible description. What's going on?
It's difficult, isn't it?
It's really fucking hard, especially with something like this.
Right, should we get this out your
Dagobah
ear?
system. That's
Sorry,
where
go
he.
ahead. Oh, the Dagobah system.
But I don't think it says the name of the planet, does it?
What, the one about the swampy planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, no.
Is that
no,
another thing he says to R2? Yeah, we're going back to the Dagobah
Dagobah,
system.
yeah. Well, it rings a bell, man. I'm not.
3PO and R2 are great in it.
Of course they're in it.
Yeah, 3PO is awesome in it.
How did they write his dialogue? R2D2.
They don't. They just describe and then so Luke says that to him, and then he like repeats with certain sounds and stuff. It's just like
Sooty Bart.
TikToks and tweets a high pitched sound, turns his head a bit, and
Oh right, okay.
yeah,
Oh, they really go into detail.
yeah, they do.
TikToks and tweets is a really good way of describing it.
Should we caress this bar out of your ear then?
Yeah, mate. Alright, so I've been thinking about how to do it, and I've been thinking about how best to describe to you how I want you to do it.
There's only one way to do it.
No, there isn't. Ken and Tom, can I borrow your hands for a moment? Can
Yeah.
you like reach your hands out like this?
Try
then.
black.
Alright.
Alright then, let's go.
That probably look cool, dude.
Okay.
So right, deep breath in through your nose.
Wait, what are you doing?
Just a deep breath in through your nose. I'm not going to rip it up, okay? So in through your nose.
Oh, is it out? Is it out? Is it out? Is it
All
out?
done, mate. All done.
Oh
Same with
my
the back.
fucking god!
it's bleeding
Oh my
again.
god! Oh,
It's really hot and sweaty.
Loads of blood gushing out of it again.
Yeah.
fucking hell!
That's
You okay, mate?
Yeah.
Stay with the bar.
That's disgusting.
Fucking hell!
Alright, yes, we'll be back in 2 weeks because we're going to work on the website so that you lovely people can have easier access to all of our previous shows. Here's to another 50, as I thank my co-participants for this week. As always, Kenneth Trainer,
Thank you very much,
Antonio Romola,
Thank you.
and Holy Justin Clint.
Cheers, buddy, for your gentle and caring.
Yeah.
Don't know
You see me really twisting.
Yeah.